Good afternoon. The two Albuquerque police officers who shot and killed homeless camper James Boyd have been charged with murder. District Attorney Carrie Brandenburg filed the paperwork against Keith Sandy and Dominic Perez this morning. Let's get to News 13's Chris McKee, who has been following the case from the beginning. Chris.
This is the first time APD officers have ever faced charges for shooting someone. Perez and Sandy both shot and killed homeless camper James Boyd in the foothills last March after an hours-long standoff. Boyd was a paranoid schizophrenic and had two small knives in his hands. Officers shot him as he turned his back towards them. The case sparked massive protests through Albuquerque last spring, where protesters vandalized an APD substation and riot police even used tear gas in order to break up the crowds. Last month, News 13 first reported that the district attorney was looking to pursue murder charges, and today she filed them against Sandy and Perez. The case will now go to a preliminary hearing where a judge will decide if the case goes to trial. If it does, prosecutors will later decide what specific murder charge the officers could face, ranging from voluntary manslaughter to first-degree murder. Keith Sandy recently retired from APD. His attorney sent this statement today saying that it was, quote, Sandy's duty to defend a fellow officer from a mentally unstable, violent man, and says he did, quote, nothing wrong. Both Sandy's attorney and District Attorney Carrie Brandenburg are planning press conferences this afternoon to talk about this decision. We will be at both of those press conferences and have live updates online at KRQE.com and team coverage later today on News 13 at 4 and 5:30. Kim, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Now, as we mentioned, the DA will present the charges during a preliminary hearing instead of a grand jury to determine if there is enough evidence to go to trial. Now, a preliminary hearing allows for the evidence to be presented in open court, attended by the public. It also allows the officers and their attorneys to challenge the charges and bring their own witnesses. Now, those are both things not allowed during a grand jury. We have put an explainer about the preliminary hearing process on KRQE.com. Our crews are working all angles of this story today, and as Chris mentioned, we will be at both news conferences. We will be live streaming them at KRQE.com. You can find complete coverage there and, of course, in our later newscasts.